Hi, Pisces. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for August of 2021. We are the astrologers around here. I'm Jamie Kale Miller, and I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mijas in San Francisco.
And Pisces, you're going to find there are a lot of relationship themes in your horoscope this month. Big gathering of planets in your 7th house, which is where Virgo resides. And if this brings up questions for you about relationships, you'll find a link in the YouTube description below for a lifelong love reading that can get all those questions answered. And you really might be thinking that because Juno is almost done being retrograde. Here she is in your 10th house and has been impacting especially your work relationships for the last several months. Fortunately, Juno is about to go direct on August 2nd, so that will be very nice. And there it is. You see it's no longer retrograde, but now direct. And so it'll become easier as the month goes on to untangle things in your work relationships. And this might also have impacted your personal relationships too. So you want to ask yourself at this point, how did your relationships change? How did they update themselves? Have you gotten any more freedom and space in your relationship during this Juno retrograde period in Sagittarius? We've got a video saying a lot more about Juno retrograde in Sag on actually in our June 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. Well, Julia, I know you've got some news for the Pisceans of the world about Mercury, Venus, and Mars. What's that good stuff?
Well, hey there, Pisces. Let's break it down and start with Mercury first. Mercury represents our mind, and wherever we have Mercury is where we tend to do a lot of communicating and thinking. So Mercury is going to begin this month in your 6th house. This is a house of organization. And Mercury is great at that. So wonderful time if you need to organize any little areas of your life, which, let's face it, Pisces, maybe organization isn't your forte. Also when Mercury's in the 6th house, it's a great time to be thinking, strategizing, and planning about things that have to do with your job, because that's what the 6th house rules. Then on August 11th, Mercury moves into your 7th house of partnership. Big emphasis on 7th house for you this month with Mercury in here, and I'll mention some other planets too. But after the 11th, with Mercury in the 7th, it really means that you'll be doing a lot of your best thinking if you have somebody else to kind of bounce your ideas off of, whether it's a romantic partner, it can represent a platonic partnership. It can also represent consultants too. So if you need to hire a lawyer or a doctor, really great time to kind of work with another person to come up with a good solution. Then Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationship, begins the month in your 7th house, which means she's bringing harmony and peace to your relationship. I will mention in a second that Mars is in here too, but for now, with Venus here for the first half of the month, really great time to enjoy a nice period in your partnership. And if you're single, to go out and meet someone new. Then after August 15th, Venus moves into your 8th house. This is the house of shared money. It's also a very intensely psychological house as well. It also rules things like intimacy, sexual intimacy too. So if you have a relationship, it's going to be a lot deeper the second half of the month. Maybe you guys are going to find a way to merge your finances, which of course is a very intimate thing to do. And of course, this also rules physical intimacy. So there could certainly be more of that. Then the final planet I want to discuss is Mars, the planet of action and activity, also in your 7th house. And it's going to be here all month. So what that means is, Mars can sometimes bring a little bit of feistiness wherever he goes. So there is some potential in whatever partnerships you're involved in your life, whether you have a romantic partner, a business partner, or a best friend who, you work with like a partner. There could be some flare-ups and frustrations there. But another good way to use this transit is to do some shared activity with your partner. So I think you can get some of the best benefits of this month, especially because Venus is in here for the first half. If you find some sort of joint projects to work on to sort of get out your energy together so it doesn't back up and lead to frustration.
Well, I want to tell you about some of the moons going on this month. The first one is a new moon in Leo happening on August 8th, right here in your 6th house of work, health, service, and personal organization. And we're calling this moon Pride Springing from Wholeness, Not Ego, because there's a lovely trine to Chiron, but also a stressful square to Uranus. So there might be some jockeying for attention. There might be some rebellious activity that goes on during this moon, but it really is an opportunity to feel pride and confidence that springs from deep within you, where you are whole, not split. Let's see, the next thing I want to tell you about is Uranus itself is going direct this month, going retrograde, I mean, on the 19th. Watch this little symbol here, and you'll see a little red RX appear right there on the day Uranus goes direct, and boom, there it is. So Uranus retrograde, you know, Uranus is always the mischievous trickster teacher that that brings a lot of uproar, introduces new, wild, and crazy ideas, and brings change, conceptual shift usually. It's traveling along through your third house, so you've probably been getting a lot of ideas, and that might accelerate when Uranus goes retrograde. And you might find that a lot of your ideas, and not just the content of your ideas, but the way that you think, is going through a big conceptual shift in the whole framework of your thinking. So if you notice activity during this Uranus retrograde day within the week surrounding it, then you're probably having a Uranus transit this year that's even more pointed than this one, that might be impacting an actual planet in your chart. And if that's the case, you would probably really benefit from going to our August 2021 news playlist and checking out the video all about Uranus transits, how they feel, and how to handle them for best results. Then as the month goes on, we have another moon, which is actually a second moon, full moon in Aquarius in a row. And it happens when the moon arrives at 29 degrees Aquarius, and it's going to oppose the sun in 29 degrees Leo. And last month there was a full moon in Aquarius too. We've actually squeezed in 2 of these in a row. It's kind of like a blue moon, only not. So this moon is happening in your 12th house, and it's in the very social sign of Aquarius, and Jupiter is there, just sort of making everything bigger like it does. And so we're calling this one Hot Summer Night Party Moon, because it's a great time for a party, but you do kind of have to watch out for some bad attention-seeking behavior that might go on at the party. So, you know, maybe don't open that second keg just yet. That's because Jupiter is retrograde. You never know what Jupiter is going to do when he's retrograde. Then the last thing that's going on this month is that the sun moves into Virgo, and we begin the Virgo season, which is the first harvest of the grains, the harvesting of the fruits, the separating of the wheat from the chaff, the discerning sign of Virgo. And this fills up your 7th house yet again this month with a lot of activity in the relationship arena. And you know, the sun brings the spotlight of attention wherever it goes, and your attention helps things to grow. So if you put some good attention on your relationship with your main partner, or with best friends, or a business partner, this is really the month to do that, and to let things grow in that arena. Well, that's what we have for you. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to see you around our little corner of the universe. Our website is pandoraastrology.com, where you can find horoscopes, the monthly forecast, get readings, and take classes. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.